Okay, guys, good afternoon. Fine. Let me just take you back for a couple of minutes. Then we'll go ahead with today's topic. So we started analyzing sentence structures. So this is the foundation for any type of exercises which you're going to face in competitive exams. Whether it is spotting errors, reading comprehension, or even writing part, you should have control over how sentences are formed. Sentences in English are simple, compound, and complex. There is one more, that is 3 plus 1. This is compound, complex. Suppose if you give me a sentence and ask me to find out, sir, is there any problem? Is there any error in this sentence? Then my approach is like this. I will first find out the given sentence is a simple, compound, complex, or compound complex. Then I'll find out whatever I need to find out. Okay, so let me see whether you can make out simple, compound, complex sentences. Look at this one. If he knows, he will help me. What type of sentence is this? Is it a simple, compound, complex, or compound, complex? If it is a simple sentence, I will see only one verb in that sentence. So if you observe here, there are two verbs. Knows is the verb and will help is another verb. So definitely this is not a simple. It has to be compound, complex, or compound, complex. We haven't come to compound, complex. It has to be compound or complex. So I will see the link. Depends on the link, I can make out whether it is a compound or complex. If I have one secondary idea, so you have to remember this. If so, this is secondary idea. So this is primary idea. This is obviously complex. That's it. That is your target. If you have identified that this is a complex, you're on the track. Next, he came and he won our hearts. So he came, one sentence, he won our hearts, another sentence, and these two sentences are linked or joined with and. Has to be compound. Okay. He has done all the homework. He has done all the homework. So is it a simple, compound, or complex? So I'll check for the verbs. One verb, has done is one verb. So there are no other verbs. So this is simple. Okay. Now look at this one. Now I'm talking about compound complex. Look at these two sentences. I know him is one sentence. Second sentence is he doesn't know me. Sentence number one, sentence number two. I want to make it one sentence. So simply I will add these two sentences with and. Sorry, here it takes but. Okay. Contrast idea, so I need to use but. I know him, but he doesn't know me. This is compound sentence. Now, what is complex sentence? Check it out. If he knows, he will help me. This is one complex sentence. Now, I'll give one more complex sentence. If he knows, he will help me. This is one complex sentence. Now I'll give one more complex sentence. Now, 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 I'll give one more comp if he comes, he will help me. I have two complex sentences. Now I want to join these two into one. So I will see what is common wording here, like this. See here what I'm going to do. If he knows, okay, if he is also common here and comes, he will help me, he will help me. I don't have to repeat. One time is enough. He will help me. See, I have compounded two complex sentences. So this is called compound complex. See, basically, final sentence product is this. If he knows and comes, he will help me. But as a student of, here you're supposed to correct a sentence, you should know how to expand these sentences, right? This is what we are trying to do. And yesterday we started focusing on complex sentence, and we talked about secondary ideas can be answer for when, where, why, how, and conditional on what condition. Secondary ideas can be answers for this. So all these grammatical got adverb sentences or adverb clauses. Don't get confused with the word clause. Clause is a group of words with SV, and it doesn't give the complete meaning. Sentence is a group of words with SV, which gives complete meaning. And clause is a part of a sentence. Fine. Then what? Look at this, guys. I can use this secondary sentence as an adjective too. Look at this two parts here. I met an intelligent boy. I met an intelligent boy. This is a simple sentence, obviously, because there is only one verb, one subject. From capital letter to the full stop, I have one subject, one verb. So this is simple sentence. Okay. In this, if you observe, this is an adjective which I have given with a single word. Now, see what I'm going to do with this. I met a boy who is intelligent. I met a boy is one primary sentence. Who is intelligent is secondary sentence. And this is called adjective clause because I have a group of words with this verb. So this is the way I change the simple into complex adjective clause. Okay. Now look at this. I will give you something like this. Let me see whether you can make out to change this into adjective clause. I'll give simple sentences. The way I have done this, you try and do. I'll join you. This is a beautiful picture. Please change this into complex sentence. You give me this beautiful into this format. Next. My doctor friend has come here. Okay. So just take 20-30 seconds and try and do on your own, and then I'll give you answers. Okay, look at this. This is a beautiful picture. I want you to change this into complex. It means I am asking to change this beautiful into one class. Okay, how would I change? Check it out. This is a picture which is beautiful. Now it becomes complex sentence. Where is the secondary area? From here to here is a secondary area. Is it uh, uh, an adjective clause or an adverb? So this is an adjective clause. Next, my doctor friend has come here. Okay, how do I change this into complex? Look at this. My friend who is a doctor has come here. My friend from here to here is an adjective clause. Where is a primary sentence? My friend has come here. And who is a doctor is extra information. That is adjective clause. This is the way I make. At this point, you don't have to make, at least if you are in a position to identify these, units, you are on the track. Still, I haven't talked about errors. Later, I talk about errors. Okay, so all these adverb clauses and what we have done, adjective clauses. Then there is one more, that is noun class. Look at this. Guys, everything is SV or SV. Let us stick to SVO structure. If I say noun, you have to remember noun comes under subject position or under object position. Look at this. Why he came here is a puzzle. From here to here is a subject. See here, instead of single word, I have given one secondary sentence as a subject. Okay, I can give this in a other way. Check it out. His visit is a puzzle. Here I used two words as a subject. In these two words, there is no verb. But if you look at this, there is one subject, one verb. That's what we call clause. And this clause is used here as a subject. In other words, this is noun clause, which is used as a subject. And if I want, I can also use why he came here as an object. See here, like this. I know why he came here. So from this is a signal for the secondary area. I know what. So why he came here. So this is object. So these are called noun clauses. You have a complex sentence with a secondary idea. That secondary idea can be a noun clause, or adjective clause, or adverb clause. Fine. This is what we have done. Now look at this, guys. Fine. Quickly, I want to go through this classes which I given you in PPT form. Then I will move to the next one. Okay. guys. This is yesterday's one, adverb clauses. Now we'll move to see what we can do. Fine. Look at this, guys. I am continuing yesterday's part, then we'll slowly move to the adjective part. Look at this too. I recognized Joe and I hadn't seen her for years. I recognized Joe, although I hadn't seen her for years. Which word brings the two facts into closer relationship? Should I use and or although? And is merely putting two facts side by side. And this complex sentence will give the relationship better than this. Okay, so obviously this B. Look at this one. His mother wasn't home. Lucy started the dinner. Lucy started the dinner. His mother finished it. Look at this. In fact, two separate sentences here, two separate sentences here. Which pair of sentences would it be better to combine by and to form a compound sentence? A or B? His mother wasn't home. Lucy started the dinner. Lucy started the dinner. His mother finished it. So which one has better statements? Like if I put with and. His mother wasn't home and Lucy started the dinner. Lucy started the dinner and his mother finished it. So go for B. Please, this one is important. Check it out, guys. And is objectionable only when it steals the job of words such as who, which, as, when, because, and although, which show exactly how two ideas are related to each other. I don't know whether you got it or not. So, in other words, I tell you, as far as possible, when you are framing sentences in a spoken form or written form, try and make complex sentences. Okay, be careful when you are using and. Now, look at this. The water boils and the kettle whistles. As soon as the water boils, the kettle whistles. Which of the above sentences gives more specific information, A or B? Which one is better communicating part? Okay, whereas here the water boils and means plus the kettle whistles. I simply mention these two statements, whereas here I have given the relationship as soon as. Obviously, this is better. Next, you will greatly improve your writing if you use and only when you are sure that no more specific relationship exists. Okay, check it out. After Juan visited the club, he decided to join. Juan visited the club and he decided to join. The relationship between the two facts is clearer in A or B. Obviously, A. Fine. We'll see. I want to show you adjective part. I'm searching for adjective clauses. Okay. I'll send the notes, guys, once I feel that I have completed some considerable amount of syllabus. Then I'll be sending you whatever we have done in the class. I'll send you the notes. Yep, this is that. Now look at this. As its name suggests, An adjective clause is a clause that is used as an adjective. Remember, clause means group of words with S and V. And which is V is important. Sometimes, you get confused with subject, but there is V compulsory. Now look at this. Come back to this. I just read an interesting article. I just read an article which interested me. The clause in sentence B does the same job as the adjective interesting. And interesting is here an adjective, but the same interesting I have put in this form, in the class form. So this is the way we make an adjective clause. We know that. Once again, I just read an article which interested me. Now look at just the adjective clause from here to here. Does it have a subject and a verb? Once again, I just read an article which interested me. And he says, only look at this. And do you have subject and verb in this? Verb you can see, but where is the subject? In this, you need to understand, guys, if you don't find any a separate subject, this which itself is a subject. Sometimes I have a separate subject. Let me give one more. I met my hero whom I consider my guru. Okay, look at this. From here to here is one secondary sentence. Where is the verb? This is the verb. Where is the subject? I is a subject within this. But in the previous one, I don't have a subject like this. There I consider which itself as a subject. So this is one type of method. Okay, fine. Look at this. A gardener removed the dead branches. Dead is an adjective. And how can I change this into adjective? A gardener removed the branches that were dead. Okay, this becomes adjective clause. Next, a gardener removed the dead branches. A gardener removed the branches plus that were dead. So this is secondary idea. This is primary. Now what is that is asking to find out? The adjective dead in sentence A comes before branches. Okay, because it is giving extra information about branches. Whereas here it comes after that word which talks about. So this is one thing you have to remember. Whenever there is an adjective clause, that is always placed after the word it talks about. Let me give you one example, guys. Now this is one of the sentences given in competitive exams. See what kind of errors. Look at this sentence. My friend gave me the book. Who is a doctor? This is a sentence which was asked in one of the competitive exams. Now he's asking to find out the error. My friend gave me the book. Who is a doctor? See, the moment somebody asks you to find out the error, immediately our mindset should become the grammatical part. You should focus on the grammatical aspect. Then what is the first step? Is it a simple, compound, or complex? Our story always starts with that. Okay, what kind of sentence is this? My friend gave and is. There are two verbs in this sentence, so obviously this cannot be a simple sentence. And I understand there is one link here. Who is a doctor? So obviously this is a complex sentence. And complex sentence, noun clause or adjective clause or adverb clause? Who is a doctor? Adjective clause. So here you have to remember the rule. If you have a sentence with adjective clause, that is obviously talking about some noun. It is giving extra information about some noun. Now, who is a doctor is related to which word, which noun logically. Now I'll give two options. Who is a doctor is related to friend or book. Who is a doctor, friend or book? So with our common sense, we can make out obviously it's friend. How can I say book is a doctor? But that is what the sentence talks about, because this who is a doctor is placed after book. No, this is not the rightful position. The right position is this. My friend who is a doctor, my friend who is a doctor gave me the book. Like this. This is the correct. That's it. That's the correction. Position. Every clause has its position. Every word has its position. That is what grammar. First, you should be in a position to identify. Then once you identify the units, guys, it's very easy to positioning them. Right? That's it. If you remember, adverb clause can be left side of main sentence or right side of the main sentence. But if it is an adjective, that is always placed after the word it talks about. You cannot put somewhere else and expect people or readers to understand that. Now let me give one. This is, I think, one IES question. The speaker spoke very, very well in the conference. Who is a rich banker's wife? When you casually read this sentence, you don't really find any error because we always use our common sense, our logic, and we try to assume the meaning. But you have to find out the positioning and the compound, the complex, whatever it gives. The speaker spoke very well in the conference. Who is a rich banker's wife? So with our common sense, we can make out who is a rich banker's wife. Speaker. If this who is a rich banker is talking about speaker, then it should be placed after speaker, but it cannot be placed after conference. And if I read the sentence as it is, it gives a meaning that conference is a rich banker's wife, which is the nonsense. Okay, so that is what the only problem with adjective clause. If it is not properly placed, what is the proper position or placement after the word which it talks about? That's it. Okay, fine. Okay, now look at this. In a previous lesson, you saw that an adverb clause can often be shifted from one position to another position. Look at this. I watched television after I studied. Can the adverb clause after I studied be moved to the another position? Yes, I can take this and put here like this. After I studied, I watched television. Yes, I can do this. Then look at this. I think some misplacement. This one, the little girl, the teacher scolded the little girl from here. Okay. Who wandered away from the group? The teacher scolded the little girl who wandered away from the group. Now the question is, can the adjective clause who wandered away from the group be moved to the another position? No. If I put after, let's say I'll put after teacher. The teacher who wandered away from the group scolded the little girl. Complete, opposite in the meaning. So if this is giving extra information about this particular word, that should be placed after that. Okay, this is what the problem with adjective part. Now I will talk about noun class, not now, but there is a time for that. I'm purposefully skipping that now. Now look at this. I will quickly take you to this. Look at this, guys. Once you think that you got that knowledge of identifying simple, compound, complex, now comes to this position, what to check. See, whatever the sentence, I have to check subject and verb agreement. Then I have to check tense. Then voice. Then speech. In other words, all these, whatever I 1, 2, 3, 4, indirectly dealing with verb. Okay, verb related errors. If I have no problem with this, then I will check whether the sentence is balanced or not. Balance is nothing but compound sentence problems that we'll see. Okay, then I will see, is there any extra information given in the sentence which we grammatically call modifiers, like adjective, adverb, adjective clause, adverb clause. Yeah, it's there, sir. And is it properly positioned? Is modified. Okay, then comes to comparison. Comparison exclusively dealing with adjective, adverb, especially more into more adjectives, right? So what kind of problem we'll see? Then, I will check for usage of articles, prepositions, and some words which are confusing words. That's it. This is the complete syllabus of spotting errors. Of course, you need to have basics. What are those basics? Sir, what type of sentence is this? Simple sentence, compound sentence, complex sentence. And sentences are built with this what? Not only words and words in group. Those are called phrases. Then clauses. Okay. Sentence, if you give a sentence, I will divide that sentence into clause. Clause is divided into phrase. Phrase is divided into word. Right? This is what. So I started with the clause. Okay. And I haven't started the phrases and words. Once you got this, then you check. Subject, verb, agreed, sir, no problem. Now, what about tense? Tense also no problem. Voice, no problem. Speech, no problem. Okay. Then is it a compound sentence? No, sir, it's not a compound sentence. Then I don't have to see this balance part. Then do I have any extra information? Yes, sir, there is one adjective. Then is it properly positioned? Yes, so no problem. No, there's a problem. That's the way I check. Like you are a grammatical doctor. So a doctor is supposed to know the anatomy of human body. Okay, same with you. You are a grammatical doctor. You should know the anatomy of a sentence. Okay, then you know how to fix it. So this is what our major intention here. Okay, fine. Now, what I want you to understand is tense angle of this. Okay, let it be a simple sentence, compound or complex. We need to check the tense of that. This is, guys, tense. It's been there from your school days onwards, still tension. Okay, but I try to simplify it. Now, when I say tense, nothing but action and okay. Now, I want you to understand one thing, guys. In a sentence, definitely you see a word which gives you time. Look at this. He came here yesterday. He came here yesterday. Can you tell me which word in this sentence is giving you answer for when? If I want to find out time, I ask a question. When, obviously here is giving the, this word is giving answer for, when. He came here when? Yesterday. So I have given time in single word. Okay. And I can also give time in a group of words like this. He came here on 24th November. When? From here to here is the answer for when. When. I can also give time in secondary class. Look at this. He came here as soon as I called him. And person pronoun I is always capital. Okay. He came here as soon as I called him. It is a simple compound or complex? Complex, starting from here to here. So when, as soon as I called him, please pay attention. This is another important one. Very frequently the tenses are tested in your competitive exams. So when can be single word, when can be group of words, when can be secondary sentence. So this when decides the form of the verb here. That is what? Action. Okay. Your verb depends on time. Time can be checked with question asking when. Okay. Now, next point, what I want you to understand, guys, time factor. See, let us visualize time like this. Let us say this is a time machine. This one is this present moment. Okay, 3:10 is the time. So this is the present moment. And left side of this, let us call past. And right side of this, let us consider future. And whenever I ask you to measure the time, imagine that you are standing here and looking at. If I ask you to look into past, you're standing here and observing this. And if I ask you to observe future, you're standing here and observing it. Okay. Now, in spotting errors, guys, sorry, somebody else has given a sentence. Obviously, on paper, somebody has created or written a sentence, and you are asked to find out any problem with that. So here I'm only asking you to check for the tense. Okay. Now look at this. What is that I want you to learn here? Check it out. Suppose if I give you he call is the base form of the verb me yesterday. When I'm asking you to give the tense. So for that, I want you to understand this. Okay, yesterday. Tell me, guys, how can I represent this yesterday on the scale? Should I put yesterday left of this or right of this? Yesterday indicates past, and I said this is the past area. So obviously here you have to put yesterday. Okay. And in past, one action completed. Now blindly remember, if you want to express one action in the past, that is always V2. Now what is this V2? V1, V2, V3. eat, present form, past form of this, ate, V3 form, past participle. Assuming that you guys have some idea about this, isn't it? A verb can have three forms basically. This, V1, V2, V3, we call it present, past, past participle, right? Like that. Go, went, gone. Like that. Swim, swam, and swam. Okay. So here I have given a base base verb here and asking you to fill this blank according to this time which I have given. So this yesterday, yes, this one. So blindly remember one action in the past is always V2. So what is a V2 form of call? Call. Okay. Now look at this. I'll give one more sentence. He clear, base form of the verb. His exams last week. He cleared his exams, or clearing, or will clear what? That I will check with this. Where do you want me to put this last week? Also, last week means past. Time indicates past. And how many actions are there in the past? Only one action. So don't think. Cleared. That's it. Okay. Now, India win its independence in 1947. So obviously we are standing here in 2020. Okay, and I am talking about the action happened in 1947. So obviously somewhere here. So how many actions are there in the past? There is only one. So what is V2 form of that? That's it. And generally, okay, understand there is a difference between spoken English and written English. You know what? In spoken English, most of the times this timings understood, implied. I don't every time use, last week I cleared my exams, yesterday I called you. We don't say, simply I say, I called you. It means some past that is understood between you and me. Okay. But on paper, at least, official and all, you have to mention this time. Okay. So generally, we also say India got its independence. India won its independence, got its independence. So that is understood that I'm referring to past time. So most of the ideas are implied in spoken, but on paper, especially correction part, you have to check for the time indicator. He will, give you the time indicator. Okay, he wants to say, do you know how to identify time in a sentence? Yes, sir. And do you know which time needs which form of the verb? Yes, sir. Then you give me whatever the verb form I have given here. Is it right or wrong? Wrong, sir. Then correct it. So this is V2 form, sir. Okay. So this is what we talked about is simple past. Look at the word. Simple means one verb. That is what simple sentence. Simple past. One action in the past. Remember, I'll type this. One action, or let me say single action. Single action in the past is represented by V2. V2. That is the rule number one. All persons, I, went, you went, we went, they went, she went, he went. All persons, one past action, V2. Fine. Now, check it out. Let me give you now pictorial representation like this. Let us say, guys, yesterday. I have given this yesterday. Let us say 7 o'clock. What happened? Idli. Somebody was, let us say I was hungry. Okay. 7 o'clock. Obviously past. Now, same, yesterday, let us say 6 o'clock. Let us say puri. Eat. Base form. I am asking you to express these two actions in a sentence. How would you do that? So you're standing here and looking at the time. So obviously this is 7 and this is 6, right? You are here, reverse. This is 7 o'clock, this is 6 o'clock. Okay, now look at this. This is idli time. This is puri time. Okay. Now you don't have to mention 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock. You only mention the actions, right? Now see how I'm going to do this. I'm standing here talking about. Now I'm looking into past and take it for granted. This is a fixed one, V2 form, right? I'm present and this is past, V2 form, V2 form. That is 8. Okay. Now look at this. I ate idli before I eat puri. Now please pay attention. I repeat because I don't know your response. Make sure you understand this. This is past and this is past to this past. I repeat, this is past. So because my standard point is always present. I always see things from here. I'm standing here and looking at this is past and this is past to the past. Okay. Past is always expressed in V2 form and past to the past is always expressed had less V3 form. Take it for granted, you remember. Okay, so what is the correct form here? Eaten. Okay, I ate idli before I had eaten puri. Don't say again here I ate. Okay, so past to the past is always expressed had plus V3. And we Indians are in love with this had plus V3. Most of the students, they make sentences like this. Check it out. You tell me whether it's right or wrong. I had gone to my village. I had gone to my village last year. I had gone to my village last year. So people don't really worry about this. They'll simply, okay, good. How was it? Then people ask questions based on that. But there is a grammatical error. I had gone. Had plus V3 should be past to the past. Where is past here? In other words, how many actions are there here? There is only one action. Then you, in the past, one action in the past, then you cannot use had plus V3. You have to use V2 form. I went to. Okay, I repeat, past to the past is had plus V3. It means when you are using had plus V3 in that sentence, definitely V2 should be there. Next, sometimes this time is implied. Check it out. Look at this. Look at this. He realized that he made base form a mistake. Now, before we decide of this form of the verb, first tell me where is the time? Time can be given with a when. So it can be a single word. It can be a single word. It can be a group of words. Okay, it can be a class, that is secondary idea, or it can be a verb given. Already one verb is given a sentence that indicates the time. So he realized that he dashed a mistake. There is no word which gives me straight meaning for when. There is no group, there is no class, but I have one verb. So obviously realized indirectly telling me that the whole story is related to past. So I know where this realized is positioned. This is realized. Realize this. Now I will see this make in relation to this V2. Now he realized, okay, that he dashed a mistake. Should I put this make left side of V2 or right side of V2? Looking from here and looking from here, check it out. Looking from here, V2. Now he realized that he dashed a mistake. That mistake happened before realization or after realization? Obviously before realization. And the moment I know this given verb is indicating this area, and this area is reserved for had plus V3, he realized that he had made a mistake. Okay, he had made. Don't say he made a mistake, but that's what generally spoken we use. But chalta, everything is okay in spoken form because nobody is going to find out problems or errors with our spoken form. But our target is not with our Indian friends. Indian friends are very cooperative, very understanding. They excuse all our, silly common errors. But when it comes to the corporate world and examiners, they are very strict. They don't excuse. And in fact, native speakers get confused. If you don't use grammatically correct sentences, they get confused. Okay, suppose if I say, I had done my work. So that fellow is expecting, okay, I had done my work. This is incomplete before you came. Then only, okay, something should be there, V2 form. Without V2, if we use only had plus V2, there's a confusion. So what we have done, let me put a statement. Past to the past is had plus V3. And this is called grammatically past perfect. Right? Then look at this, guys. When he came, I watched the movie. Where is the time? When he came is a time. Or simply take V2 form. So V2 form is this. Came. I know the position of came is here on the scale. So I am supposed to give the form of the watch. Already he has given this. I need to check. Now look at this. when he came. Now tell me, where do you want me to put this watch on the scale? Should I put watch left side of the scale, right side of the scale, or same time? Who decides that? This word decides this. Now look at this. I slightly change this. Before he came, I dashed the movie. Came position is fixed. Now he said before came. So obviously I need to put watch before came. But when I say when, it's not here, left side of this, it's not here, but it is the same time. It means the moment he came, that moment, same time, same point, something was continuing. So my expression should be was watching. So the rule is this. Point of action at the point of time, the past. Generally, that is indicated by V2 again, point of time in the past, generally V2. If that is what my another action, then that is, expressed in was or were V1 plus ing form. Okay. So this is called past continuous. Past continuous. Simple past only V2 form. Okay. Past perfect had plus V. Okay. But obviously V2 is common. Guys, without V2, you cannot express past. Okay. Then what? Check it out. Check this one. When he came, I'm giving the same sentence. Watch the movie. Okay. Now look at this sentence. When he came, I see the difference between these two sentences. Watch the movie for 2 hours. Can you see the difference between these two sentences, guys? The difference is this. Okay. Where is it? Suppose if I ask you, where is the time in the first sentence? So when he came is the time. So this is the time. Now, where is the time in the second sentence? When he came, and also this. Guys, remember, this is called duration, length of the time. Length of the time, or we call duration. Okay, where I don't have this duration in the first sentence, which our speaker is not interested to talk about the length of the time. So when he came, at that moment, I was watching. This is clear. Now remember, whenever I want to talk about the length of the time in a sentence, now my length of the time can be expressed like this. Has been, have been, had been, okay, plus V1 plus ing form. V1 plus ing form. Okay, has been, have been, had been plus V1 plus ing form. Now I take this came and put it here. I know this is the permanent place for V2. Now for 2 hours. Up to this point, for 2 hours completed. So obviously started somewhere here. So from here to here, 2 hours. That's the point this fellow is saying. And you know, this area is reserved for had plus V3, but I need to mention length of the time. So past length of the time, then obviously had been plus V1, V1 plus ing form. So had been watching, had been watching. So what we have done is called past perfect continuous. Past perfect continuous. So this is what past is. Now what I want you guys to do is I'm going to give you some sentences. Okay, you find out those actions along with the time on the scale and give it of information. Just give me a minute. I will see for the exercise. Just a minute, guys. I'm checking for the exercises. A whole lot of exercises. I just want to take some for you. Pronounce. Okay, very good. You got it? Okay, guys, check it out. I will pick some. You don't focus on others. Now, all of you, look at the third one. Look at the third one. Forget about this. I'll come back to that. It was dark and cold. It was dark and cold. At one moment, he thought that he dashed his way. Now look at this. The moment I see the sentence, immediately my idea goes back to past. Was dark, okay? And also he thought, okay? Then immediately I'll put it on the scale. Now I'm supposed to give this verb. So thought, he thought about action which happened before this thought. So then I'll see. He thought that he lost his way. He will lose his way. No way, because this is future. But my whole story is talking about past. Now, had lost, was lost, loses. If at all any confusion, the confusion should be between A and C. Guys, what is your answer, guys? If you say lost, you're wrong, because this happened left side or before this thought, so had lost. So this is the way I'll test you, or examiner will test you this way. Do you know when to use which tense? Okay, so he has given that. The clue is given in the sentence itself. You don't assume anything. Fine. Very good. Now, look at this 16th one. Can you see the time indicator? She dashed you a letter 3 weeks ago. The moment you see ago, you understand that it is indicating past time. One action with ago, always V2. She dashed a letter 3 weeks ago. Had sent, has sent, was sending. What is your answer, guys? If you say had sent, you're wrong because there is only one action. Okay, not even has sent. Has something to do with the present. So answer is C. She sent you a letter 3 weeks ago. Okay. Now see the 19th one. First focus on the time indicator. Where is the time indicator? Long ago, people dash little about those minerals. When, long ago, past. How many actions? One actions. So what is the answer? Had known, knowed, will know, knew, have known. If you say D, you are right. Long ago, people knew little about those minerals. Yeah. Look at the 21st one. I could not imagine what dash to her. Now I'll search for the time. Which word is giving you time? Either it should be an adverb, right, or phrase or clause, but there is one verb. This is what my indication of the time. Could not imagine. So obviously past. So dash to her. I could not imagine. I am talking about some action before could not imagine. So I could not imagine what had happened to her. That is the right one. See the 22nd one. He felt that he dashed it wrong. Same story. He felt about something happened before felt. So felt is given already before felt should be always express had plus V3. Had made. Okay. See here. Sometimes, look at this one. It is clear that, before that, before and after, but sometimes the confusion comes here. When my mother came is the time indicator, obviously came. So obviously V2 form. Now, the action may happen at the same time, then you can say ing form, or it can happen before that. That you need to select clearly. Look at this. I dashed my homework when my mother came. Before mother came, I completed. That's what this indicates, even if I see this when. So already did, have already done, had already done, has already done, already do. Left side of V2 is always had already done. Okay. Yeah, look at this. He dashed the box yesterday because he had to do it. He dashed the box yesterday because he had to do it. Okay, please understand, he had to do it. That's the reason he took. Okay, so he has given, but you tell me, should I go for? Okay, luckily that fellow has not given had opened. Otherwise, the confusion is between had opened and opened. Look at this. He dash the box yesterday opened. Clear. Okay. Let me give some more. Okay. I will pick some questions, guys. Maybe I'll give some time. Okay, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40. Yep. Just take 1 minute time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'll give you answers. Then you can check your answers. Okay. Let's come to the 35th one. Who dashed at the meeting yesterday? Who dashed at the meeting yesterday? One action in the past. Of course, it is in a question form, but action is only one. Don't go for had spoken. Who spoke at the meeting yesterday? If you're gone for C, you're right. Okay. Then he met me with the bird in his hand. Why that fellow has given this sentence? Check it out. He met me with the bird in his hand. So he is taking our attention to the past. Met. Oh, he dashed curiously at me. Now I'll find out. Uh, this whatever the blank happened left side of met. I mean before met or after met, at the same time of met. Okay. He met me with the bird in his hand. So obviously at that particular point of time, it was looking curiously at me. Right? If you got this, right? Check it out. Nick dash yesterday. Whatever be the verb here. Yesterday and one action. It has to be in V2 form. Okay. Now maybe you need to understand this one. I will talk about do, did, does. Yes, this is negative. Did not come. Suppose if it is a positive, okay, Nick came yesterday. Okay, negative, did not come, not came. Now look at this. I knew that he dashed the same paper each morning. Now my attention goes to this one. So past. Knew, past. So I knew, right? Before that, I knew that he does the same paper each morning. Had bought, had bought. Okay, because this happened before, that's new. He asked the children who dashed the book. He asked the children who dashed the book. Okay, now see here, he asked something which happened before asked. Asked before that action. So had on. Okay. Who dashed on a hike yesterday? Okay. Who dashed on a hike yesterday? One action. Question is about one action. Okay. So who went on a hike yesterday? Fine. Let me give you some more because I can't go to the next. Tomorrow I'll talk about other parts, but let me have some practice here. Look at this 43rd one, guys. In the summer of 1868, the moment I say, okay, if something happened in the past, Melville Bell dash on a lecture tour in the USA and Canada. So obviously he has given this time and talking about only one action. So went. Ah, look at this. 44th one. He dash his work before you came. Where is the time? Came. So before. Something here before came. Whatever happened before came. So you visualize this. Okay, came. Whatever action happened before came. So had finished. He had finished his work before you came. Next. Yeah, guys, now 17th one, 18th one, and 20th one also, 19th one we have done. 17th, 18th, 20, yeah, 20, 17, 18, 20. Try. When he dash home, I dash him the book. When he dash home, I dash him the book. Okay. When he came, first you see the time. When he came, when he has come, when he was coming, when he comes, when he came. So obviously here came. So either A or D. Okay. When he came, I dash him the book. Here, I can also say when he came home, I was showing him the book. But what happens is you should also see the logic here. Or sometimes you only see the best option. You know, if you have this was showing, maybe you can get confused, but there is no that option. So B2 form. When he came home, I showed him the book. Next. They dash breakfast at 7 and dash home at 8. And remember this, guys. I want to tell you one point here. Check it out. The point is this. Look at this. When he came, Okay, I, or when he came, I was doing this work. We know this, there is no confusion. But if you see, he came and he watched the movie. He came and he dashed the movie. Please pay attention. When I have and, left side I have V2, right side of and should also be V2. Now don't use any other form. If that fellow is given V2, then it should be. If he has given had plus V3 and had plus V3. Okay, so that is what the point here I'm trying to tell you. Okay, now see this. Which one? Which one we are talking about? Yes, this one. They dash breakfast at 7 and dash home at 8. They dash breakfast at 7 and dash home at 8. See, suppose if before and after, if I use that kind of link here, obviously you say breakfast 7, so this is the first action, this is the second action, because 7 and 8. But here I use this with and, so I have to have two similar. So they have breakfast left, they had left, they had, okay, they had left. So I would go for B. The had is nothing but 8. They had, instead of 8, they use had. So let me change this. They ate breakfast at 7 and left home at 8. It means my idea is similar. Remember this blindly. Whenever I use this, I have to use this. Okay. Yeah. See this 25th one. Last summer, we dash a trip to Houston. Last summer is a time. There is only one action. We made. Okay. She dashed in Tashkent 5 years ago. 5 years ago passed. So we too lived. Okay. Okay. We dash English, so I know it a little. Okay. We were learning, we learned, we learned, we should learn, we were learning. Okay. So this is what past is. Okay. I don't know when it ends, this one. I will be just summarizing, guys, whatever we have done. Tomorrow we'll talk about, present form. After that, future. Then I will give you mixed one. Okay, this is the way we'll practice. And exercise which I gave you, I'll be sending you that exercises once I complete some considerable amount of this part. Okay, so lots of exercises are there. That's the only way. It's not about simply knowing the rule or understanding. You have to practice, guys. Language is a skill. Knowledge and skill. You need to understand the difference between knowledge and skill. Knowledge means simply knowing something. Skill means knowing, then you practice. See, it's just like I would say, like bike riding or a car driving. It doesn't mean that if you know parts of this car and steering, this gear. No, you should practice. Skill comes with the practice. Language you can speak if you practice. Okay. So my point is to give the rules and you have to practice. How can you practice? Exercise. Right? Lots and lots of exercise you have to do. And it goes into your subconscious mind. You shouldn't actually think about grammar. Okay, grammar should come naturally to you. Back of the mind, it should work. When you start thinking about this, it means you haven't learned. Okay, so as I said, only one action in the past is always V2. If I have two actions, one after another, first one is had plus V3 in the past, and obviously second one is V2. And if some action is happening at one point of time, that is at V2, the second one can be was or were V1, V1 plus ing form. And if it is with the time, I mean duration of the time had been plus V1 plus ing form. Okay, simple past, past perfect, past continuous, past perfect continuous. The grammatical terms, you don't really worry about this. Okay, so I think time is up. I'll stop it here, guys.